This is why you need to subscribe to our channel, because there are a lot of noise out there regarding the new tax policy, and some of this noise, some of them are wrong while some of them are right. But on this channel, we've decided to break it down into the Q&A session for you, our audience, to understand some knowledge about the new tax policy. So we are starting with, we have like 8 questions here, and we still have a lot of series for you to uncover. So if you have some questions that you think we've not answered in this video, don't forget to drop it in the comment section. We are going to give an answer to all of them, either through video or by replying your text. And you can reach out to any of our number that is showing on the screen for you to get answer to your question. So from January 1st 2026, no tax ID, no bank account in Nigeria. I'm sure you must have been hearing this a lot, but you guys have a lot of fear. Don't worry. If you think this doesn't concern you, but you have to think again. So under the new Nigeria Tax Administration Act of 2025, both individuals and businesses must have a tax identification number, also called TIN or tax ID. And this already answers the questions that what's the difference between TIN or tax ID. TIN is tax identification number, what tax ID is tax identification number. It is still the same thing, right? So it will be used to open or operate any bank account, and this includes savings, current, corporate, and even online fintech accounts like OPay and the rest. So let's say you run a food business, or let's say you run a business and you've been using your personal account for business. From 2026, that account may be frozen until your tax ID is linked, and no new business account will open without it. Yes, no new business account will open without it. One of the reasons why this is good is that some banks have already been using this. Some banks in Nigeria, you cannot open accounts with them without having a tax ID. So don't wait until it is too late, and don't forget that we can help you get this tax ID of a thing. So let's move on to the second question, right? So who counts as a taxable person under the new law? Or let's say, who needs a tax ID under the new law? So some of you only think that only big companies need a tax ID. I would say that you are wrong, because the new 2025 reform, everyone in Nigeria or does business here must have a tax ID, and that includes freelancers, POS operators, food vendors, mini importers, and even non-residents offering the digital services to Nigerians. So if you are a designer and you earn up to like a so amount in maybe by designing logo or doing flyer for people, you must have a tax ID. Even if it is a Chinese seller supplying goods to Nigeria buyers online, they must register it too. So in order to avoid fines, business restrictions, and account suspension, you need to get your tax ID. So the law defines a taxable person as anyone carrying on trade, business, or economic activity that earns income, and this means all the agents or the entity that we've discussed, right? So let's move on to the third question. The third question says, my CAC is done. Is that enough? No. And I'm sure we are going to do another video on the difference between annual return and tax, because some businesses feel that they are already paying their annual return, they don't need tax again. Why? We'll do a video on that, and that's for another day. So CAC gives you the legal business status, but tax identity is what is required for your bank accounts, grants, tenders, and formal contracts. So what happens if you don't get your tax ID before 2026? First, you might lose access to your bank accounts. Yes, that's what the new law says. So from January 1, 2026, financial institutions will deny access to accounts not linked to tax ID. And that means that withdrawals, deposits, loans, or even online transactions could be blocked. Yes, they could be blocked. They could be blocked. So moving on to the fourth question that we have here. We've discussed that. We've discussed the fourth question. So this is the fifth one. Do I really need to have a tax ID just to open accounts? we've already discussed that as well. You need to have a tax ID. So you, as long as you are